world just behind you. Everything else comes too fast. Memories are all inside you, and you never make them back. I can feel that you're in through the world that you got next day. You can feel what I mean now that you're here. Just know there's nothing to fear along the way. There's nothing I could say, nothing I could say. Can't feel relief with the being blind or dumb. Find something to believe in and then never give it up. I can feel that you're in through the world that you're not next day. You can feel what I mean now that you're here. There's nothing to fear along the way. There's nothing I could say, nothing I could say.
Your boys back after a week absence, and man, we got a lot to talk about, stuff to cover up from last week to this week. It's just a bit surprising to do on this downfall I'm going to bring here, but we got a lot of laying out for you. The Hosted Trio's back together again on the Worldly Podcast. Let's go.
So what does it mean to be a raging Cajun? Southwest Louisiana, wreck your face, man. Still don't get it in, I'ma let you know. All you gotta do is come and join the show.
Yeah. What up, everybody? We are the highest tier pod of your weekly unfiltered wrestling and entertainment. Welcome to the World Elite Podcast, presented by I'm bringing the party, baby. Presented by Nacho Fries from Taco Bell. Free and available wherever you get your podcasts. We're on YouTube and Twitch as well. Fact, no, they're not a proud sponsor. I'm just hungry for Nacho Fries because I love them. Now we're sponsored by Dubby, I believe, or God, I don't even remember the fucking tagline for that. And sponsored by 80s Tees. Be better. That's the motto for W Energy. I'm your host, Marcus, at Marcus Lee 337 on Twitter, and I got Dylan and Jordan. What up, guys? So where can we find you?
I'm doing pretty good, man. Just a quick apology to everyone who was trying to tune in at 7 Central. I had a ton of stuff I was trying to get ready for our stream tonight, and sadly, I waited way too long to even start doing it. So that's on me. So we started 40 minutes later than what we should have. So next week will be better and we'll be on time for this one. But I'm on Twitter at @DylanAber_. Good to have you back, Marcus. I forgot the nacho fries were coming back today. So friendly reminder right there. I'll have to stop and get me some tomorrow.
Jordan.
I'm doing good, and you can find me at Jordan_J2000. And I didn't know that they was coming back today.
Dylan's the one who told me about it, and I didn't even know nothing about it. I'm on my 4th batch already. Ordered 5 orders, and I'm on my 4th one.
I know.
But what up, everybody? Comments are already flying in. And that was a new surprise. Big thank you to OnLap again for a new theme song. What's this one called? This one's actually new to me. I never heard it, but I like it.
It's called Forever. The link to everything is in the description of our live stream on YouTube and on Facebook. So go check out all their stuff. I think the link posted to everything is the album that it comes off of. So check that song out. Check the rest of their songs out. They are a very fantastic band. I love their music.
Probably the best rock band out of Paris right now. I still listen to Burn like as a daily routine because it's like so damn good. And when I hear Burn, I think of our show, because you hear that on the countdown, the last few live streams we've had, or you'll hear it on post credits on audio episodes we've done recently. But if I had my alarm right now, the one you hate, we actually have a breaking news that I just saw on Twitter about an hour and a half, 2 hours ago. I don't know if you have to grab it for or not. If you don't, it's okay. But WWE kind of made a U-turn on their show in Saudi Arabia. About a couple of months ago, they announced that they were bringing back the King of the Ring tournament, calling it King and Queen of the Ring. Now it's been changed to Night of Champions, which means it's the night that every single championship will be on the line. A lot of people are happy about it, but wish it'd stay in America and not in Saudi. A lot of people are pissed that they're not having this tournament. I mean, who said they're not having the King of the Ring and Queen of the Ring tournament? Maybe they moved it to America. I don't know. They might do it in June, but even though they got Money in the Bank coming up July 1st, but it's also pissed a lot of people off. They're like, how are you going to do this in Saudi when your tag champions are not going to show up because Sammy can't compete in Saudi? Kevin's not going to go compete in Saudi because of Sammy. So what the fuck? Are they going to just drop the titles to KO and Sammy, or what's going on with this? I mean, this is kind of a shock. I wish they'd have just put Night of Champions in America where it belongs, but then they did this. And why they're not having the King and Queen of the Ring anymore? Did people hate the name? Was this Vince's idea? Which we got a bit of Vince to talk about down the road this show. But give me your take on this breaking alert about Night of Champions coming back.
First of all, it kind of defeats the whole purpose of every champion being defended because, like you mentioned, Sammy cannot attend any pay-per-view in Saudi Arabia, and Kevin Owens doesn't do it in support of Sammy. So unless they somehow drop the championships, which I don't see that happening before Saudi Arabia, then the tag champions will not be defended. But something also I'm kind of believing on, me and Ryan were talking before the stream started, and he was saying maybe because of the whole thing with Saudi Arabia not really allowing their women to really do much, maybe they were against the whole idea of the queen part of the tournament, even though they decided the finals, I believe, was it last year when Zelina won it? But this is a whole tournament. This is a PLE, strictly around King and Queen of the Ring. So maybe the ones who's forking over the money for this Premier Live event wasn't really for the whole Queen part of it. So that makes me think maybe it was a sudden change. That's why they're bringing in Night of Champions. But I think, like I mentioned, it defeats the whole purpose of it because Sammy cannot compete and Kevin Owens doesn't go there in support of Sammy. So it could be a Night of Champions without both tag champions being defended that night, or if they make Kevin and Sammy abruptly drop the titles, which I really hope that's not the case because I do see them holding the championship for quite some time. So it's going to be an interesting sequence of events that happens leading up to their show in Saudi Arabia, what they do with the tag champions. Now, I'm not really concerned about any of the other titles. But as far as I'm concerned, everyone who's a champion is allowed to compete in Saudi Arabia. There's no beliefs, no sort of tattoo that is being shown. The women have to cover up regardless, so I don't think that's really an issue. But it's going to be interesting. So I'm not too sure about it. And the whole thing with the king and queen of the ring, maybe they'll do it somewhere down the line. I thought it was a pretty interesting thing to do. I didn't like it that it was in Saudi Arabia, but I don't know. Maybe they'll do it somewhere down the line. It's just a very, very, very abrupt change that I didn't see coming.
Yeah, I'm glad they bringing it back, and like y'all said with Sammy and them, almost unless they I'd move it to America, but I doubt it they will, and they can fight. So I don't know. And then the what is it? The King and the Queen tournament. Like y'all said it, like Dylan said it, maybe down the road or something they might have it.
That's the nachos fries' fault. No, what I was trying to say before I realized I was muted, I said maybe they'll still have this tournament. It'll be on Raw and SmackDown. Like, it'll be just throughout the week. They just won't have its own premiere live event like they were planning on. But I think they still have it. But, hey, we know now that Roman's next match is going to be in Saudi Arabia, and it'll be the day before or the day of he'll reach the 1,000-day mark as Universal Champion. But who's he going to defend the title against? Is this where Cody finishes the story, or is he going to have a different opponent in maybe like a Seth Rollins maybe? Or I don't know.
So once again, me and Ryan talk wrestling like crazy, and he had his kind of a theory about it. I'm not a fan of it, but I feel like maybe that's the route they're going to go. And I feel like Jordan already knows what I'm talking about. But so Ryan believes that Roman's going to hold the title till next year at Mania, and that's where Cody's going to finally win it. It's his version of Hard Times, because Paul Heyman said that you're not going to get your rematch at Backlash. You're not going to get it at SummerSlam. He never mentioned WrestleMania. So WrestleMania 40, it's going to be 2 nights again. The main event of night 2 is going to be Roman Cody part 2, and I feel like that's where Cody's going to be the one to dethrone him right there. It's not the ideal situation having Roman hold the belts for another year, but if they're going to go to Hard Times route with Cody, I feel like that's what they're going to do. They're going to feed Roman all these opponents. He's going to beat them with ease, and he's finally going to lose to Cody next year in Philadelphia.
Mm-hmm.
I predicted everything pro wrestling. How you doing? Yo. Let me swallow this.
Gee, you're tearing that shit up.
That's fucking great. Welcome back, baby. No, I made a pre-WrestleMania 40 prediction. I have it pinned on my Twitter page. I wish I could edit it now, but it's too late. I said that Cody and Roman will eventually have another match at 40. I said either it'll be one-on-one or it could be a triple threat. But I also threw in the term either Cody could win back-to-back Royal Rumbles or he'll get added to the match and make it a triple threat. I think it might be a triple threat because obviously every 10 years WWE likes to do a triple threat main event. Hell, even WrestleMania 10 you could consider a triple threat, even though it was 2 separate matches that involved 3 men, Yokozuna, Bret Hart, and Lex Luger. 20 was Benoit, Triple H, and Shawn. 30 was Bryan, Orton, and Batista. 40 will be Roman, Cody, and the third man. I predicted Gunther to win the Rumble next year, and he have a shot. Or maybe Seth Rollins could be the third guy, and there'll be a triple threat with Roman, Cody, and Seth Rollins at WrestleMania 40.
I'm not sure if you go to triple threat route. I think Cody needs to win it on his own. I don't think you need to throw in the third person to there. Just like the Mania when it was Edge, Roman, and randomly Daniel Bryan. And then they made the memes about Daniel Bryan being added to like everything going on. He wasn't needed. And it's not like he was there to take the pin, because if you look at the picture, they both took the pin from Roman. So that's not a situation that they need to go adding Rollins. I think Rollins needs his own thing at WrestleMania. He did well with Logan Paul. Logan Paul gets shit on a lot, but he's got a wrestler and they put on a great match. So Seth Rollins needs his own thing at WrestleMania. I don't think he needs to be inserted to something he's not going to win.
I feel like they're doing to Cody what they did to John Cena after he lost to The Rock at WrestleMania 28, because his next pay-per-view after that loss, he faced Brock, and Cody's doing the same thing, which I called that. There was no way in hell. Brock Lesnar don't compete on Raw or SmackDown. He's a part-timer. He only competes on Premier Live events at the big cities, even though they were in LA. When I saw they were doing this, I said, it ain't going to happen. He's going to turn on Cody. Or I said he was going to attack Roman in the match. It wasn't never going to happen, but he turned on Cody. And Cody made the challenge to an event that don't exist no more. I don't know if he's stuck in 2021 or 2022, but there's a pay-per-view or Premier Live event called Backlash in San Juan, Puerto Rico, not WrestleMania Backlash.
Yeah, they need to stop saying that because that's not the name of the event. I'm not sure where they keep on saying this, but that's not the name of the event. It's strictly Backlash. So yeah, they need to stop saying that because that's getting annoying.
That was the second error I caught on Raw that week. Everyone clearly heard Dominic's fuck up.
That was good.
Well, I'll start it off with you. What topic do you want to start off with tonight?
So I like to always start off our topics with the person who's on the thumbnail for our streams. And if you look at the one that I made for this one, it features AEW's newest signee, and that is Switchblade Jay White. Now, we talked about him last week when we had Justin on the show. Real quick shout out to Justin. He was a fantastic guest. We love having Justin on. He's like the honorary fourth member of our show sometimes. He's such a fantastic guy. So he was such a pleasure to have on. So we talked with Justin last week. So we talked with Justin last week about getting his thoughts on the signing of Jay White. Kind of how bad that WWE didn't even bring Jay White into the conversation of bringing him for WrestleMania. I feel like Marcus turned his camera off because he's doing something stupid. So
yeah.
So I was gonna ask him a question. Okay, he's back. So Marcus, I'm gonna get your take on it real quick before I ask y'all the question I really want to ask about Jay White. Since you weren't here last week, I want to get your take just on the signing itself. Bringing Jay White in. Do you think they did it correctly? Do you think that the camera work was a little bit messed up? Bringing Jay White in, did they debut him the right way? And on the topic of bringing him to WWE, like, do you think that they messed it up so bad to where his name didn't even get brought up in a conversation during Mania week?
His debut was brought up both the right and wrong way. I liked how he interfered in a match, but I thought that should have happened at the end of the show. It shouldn't kick off like that because Excalibur couldn't even get a full reaction. Or nobody can get a full reaction because they're like, "Oh my god, did that just happen?" And a lot of people like me were excited because I was like, "Yeah, no wonder he's not going to WWE." This is why I thought Vince was taking over creative when I realized he's not. I think Triple H is still running creative. Vince is just a normal, particular employee with this new company they signed with that has no sexual allegations. So if he touches a woman, he's done. I dare him to touch another woman. But I love it. I mean, that's giving me some fantasy bookings we probably have seen in any other time in New Japan or Ring of Honor. But now that Jay White's there, give me Jay White versus Adam Cole. Give me Jay White versus Kenny Omega. Give me Jay White versus Bryan Danielson. Give me Jay White versus MJF. My mind's spinning with these fantasy matches. Hell, if he wants to compete in Ring of Honor too for a bit, let him go to Ring of Honor and challenge for the title. And now you got Juice Robinson in this Bullet Club Gold. I love it. I might have to get another Bullet Club shirt now, but I thought WWE kind of dropped the ball, but this one everyone thought Vince was running shit all over again. But I think it makes the right sense that Jay White just stayed in this lane. He's appeared on AEW before. Now he's officially on the roster. Keep him all elite. I like it.
Yeah, so So last week I was saying that I thought they debuted him in kind of a rough way. I think it was rushed, but I think Tony Khan kind of, that was his way of, sticking it to them for not even bringing his name up. And he swooped in, got Jay White, and he wanted him to basically kick the show off. So the way I would have debuted him, like I said last week, you remember when Malachi Black debuted, when Arn Anderson was talking in the ring and then the lights went out and he's standing just right in the corner. So that's how I would have debuted Jay White. Ricky Stark's in the ring and the lights go out and then Jay White's right there. I think he would have got a better pop from the crowd. And, Tony Khan loves making the lights go out for everything. Hell, when we were in New Orleans, it went out and it was Satnam Singh of all people. And that got a horrible reaction from the crowd. We didn't even know who he was.
Oh, 1 year ago today, we all went to Dynamite in New Orleans.
Damn, 1 year already?
Yes, it popped up on my history feed. And then I saw the poster brother tag me in, and I'm like, yeah, it was 1 year ago today. Us three and your brother Ryan, we went to AEW at the Lakefront. It was y'all's first AEW show. It was my second, and it's still to this day, best AEW Dynamite I've went to out of the three.
Yeah, so I'm actually glad you brought up the topic of the dream matches you brought up for Jay White. That was my next question I had for both of y'all, and I had one for myself. So you mentioned a bunch of them. I was going to, for Jay White, I was going to have you just pick one, but you said in multiple of them, which is good. Jordan, you got anybody?
I was like he said, Kenny Omega, Adam Cole, MJF.
Yeah, and he's worked with these guys before, but I didn't watch it. This was in New Japan. He worked with Omega. I didn't see it. I didn't watch the show. I said I did, but I didn't.
Yeah, I want to see Jay White and Kenny Omega. I want the Kenny Omega you seen at Wrestle Kingdom. I don't want the Kenny Omega that's with the Elite and coming out to Kansas. I want the Kenny Omega that'll. Yes, exactly. I want the one that put on a freaking classic with Will Ospreay at Wrestle Kingdom. That's what I want. So if you give me that and Jay White in a 20-minute, 25-minute classic, oh, I will be so happy. So that's my main dream match in AEW for Jay White is for Kenny Omega, the cleaner Kenny Omega. So that's what I want.
Hell yeah. All right. Let's see. What do I want to start with? Unless Jordan, do you have a topic? Or it's just us two again?
It's just us two, I think.
Yeah, it's just y'all two.
Okay, well, I'll bring up probably the big thing everyone's talking about, waiting for it to happen. The question is, they haven't gave a release date yet. Now, unfortunately, I didn't watch SmackDown last Friday because I went saw the greatest video game movie in the fucking world. Go watch the Super Mario Brothers movie. It is the best, and it's still breaking box office records. It just passed Warcraft. The $390 million opening weekend, and it passed both Sonic movies. It passed Frozen. It put Frozen in the fucking dirt. It's going to be movie of the year. It's going to probably, when it passes Avatar, that's what I'm waiting for. When it passes the making of Avatar and even Titanic, if it keeps on rolling, which I think it will. But Triple H said he had another big announcement, like he did on Raw. Well, basically Raw, he was just saying that WWE's not going anywhere. But Triple H comes out and says that it's the return of the WWE Draft and every superstar is eligible. The question is, when's the draft going to be? I'm going to assume it's probably going to be in May or June. They're going to try and make it a big-ass deal. Like, it's going to be a whole week. They'll do the draft on Raw, do the draft on SmackDown, like they did the last time. I guess it's a good thing. There was a lot of positive about this. People are excited about the draft coming back. But is that going to fix anything? I mean, is that going to split the titles, or is that going to have to create a new championship if Roman goes to this brand and the other brand won't have a championship? So I've been thinking about this a lot. And eventually down the road, we will have a mock draft episode again. We haven't did a mock draft episode in a while. But I have a question for you guys. Big one. Who goes number one in this draft? Roman Reigns or Cody Rhodes? And Raw gets the first pick. Now, remember that. Raw always gets the first pick.
I think the obvious would be Roman, but I think they go Cody. I think Cody is the top pick in my opinion. Roman's working that abbreviated schedule. You're not going to see him much. But I mean, it doesn't matter what we think because this shit's already planned out. Everyone knows who's going to go number 1. It's all in the script. So we can make mock drafts until we want to, but it doesn't matter because we all know it's either Cody or Roman. I don't see nobody else going number 1. But kind of my take on this, I kind of think the draft is pointless because everyone shows up on every show to begin with. In my opinion, the brand split is already dead because everyone shows up everywhere. So it's not like you're going to get a big pop if someone from SmackDown debuts on Raw because we already seen them a few weeks ago. So it's a nice announcement. It's nice to get the crowd, hyped up for a draft and whatnot. But in my opinion, I think it's pointless. It doesn't need to happen, but it's going to happen. It just doesn't need to.
Yeah, I'll say Cody, I guess, goes number 1.
I mean, I give it a couple of weeks. Like they'll be on their respective brands, and then they're gonna have a superstar, not a superstar shakeup, but remember the wild card rule and shit. Like it's gonna be pointless by then. Like they're gonna be on both brands again, and people are excited about it because they think it's gonna split the titles. Like people are already saying, just let Roman keep the Universal title so he can get to 1,000 days or more, and just let him drop the WWE title and bring it to, if it's Raw or SmackDown, wherever he goes. I'm going to save my opinions on who I think goes where, but if any title gets like swapped, like I don't want to see another freaking a freaking switcheroo. Like a couple of years ago, what was it, the New Day and the Usos swapped the tag titles and it counted as a new reign. And then last year it was Bianca Belair and Charlotte that swapped the last time they did that, a freaking title switcheroo. Or was it Becky Lynch and Charlotte Flair? Or it was Becky and Charlotte. No, I don't want to see nothing like that. I think there'll be 2 titles that are going to swap brands. I think the Intercontinental Championship will be on Raw and the United States title will go to SmackDown. So basically I'm saying Gunther's going to go to Raw and Austin Theory will go to SmackDown.
That's pretty interesting. Yeah, because he's one that you really don't see going from brand to brand. Gunther, he's like a strictly SmackDown guy. There's always a few superstars who are like strictly to their brand. Like when Bray Wyatt was on SmackDown, you never seen his ass on Raw. But I mean, if he does come back, which I really hope he does come back, he's subject to the draft as well. So I don't know. I feel like the draft could be a good thing if it's worked in the right way. If you're gonna do a draft, you gotta have these people on their respective brands. It doesn't pay for someone to get drafted to SmackDown and then next week they're on Raw. It's so pointless.
I mean, I would love to see Gunther come to Raw. That would be perfect. And I think Austin Theory being on SmackDown would fit him so good, especially after beating John Cena at WrestleMania.
Yeah.
What do you think, Jordan?
Yeah, I can see Gunther being on Raw and Theory being on SmackDown.
Okay. All right. Dylan, what else you got to throw in today?
All right, so I'll go to my next topic. I'm trying to remember what my topics were. Okay, let's go with some people we were already talking about. We brought up this already. And this is, or could be, the main event of Backlash, and it's Cody Rhodes and Brock Lesnar. We talked about the potential tag team match that we were going to see. I kind of feel like, Marcus, you did the same thing. Brock doesn't compete on the weekly shows. It's either a PLE or it's nothing. He worked SmackDown a few years ago, but that was only to beat Kofi Kingston in like 6 seconds for the title. The bell rung. Kofi ran after him. He landed on Brock's shoulders for an F5, and that was it. So that's the only time he really works, is if he's gonna win in 10 seconds. So I kind of feel like it was coming, but I didn't want it to happen because I wanted Cody as the champion. So I thought we would get Roman Cody at Backlash, and that's where the story would possibly finish. Now, new theories coming out that Roman's going to hold it all the way till next year. Which, if I had to see Roman as champion for a whole nother year, I mean, it's not the greatest thing in the world, but it's going to have to be the thing we see, and it sucks. So now we're getting Cody and Brock in a showdown I'm actually looking forward to. Seeing them two work together, I'm very interested. So I want y'all take on this. What do you see? I mean, obviously we're not predicting it because we have our own show for predictions, but first, when the turn happened, obviously you saw it coming, but did you see like a 10-minute beatdown from Brock to Cody just to close out Raw? Don't even give the crowd like a simple main event for the Raw after Mania. It's just strictly 10 minutes of just Brock beating Cody's ass. So
You go first, Jordan.
So I guess I'll ask y'all first, the hype level for Cody Brock, 1 to 10. Are you looking forward to it? Or are you like, is it not something you're that sold on? What you got?
Oh, I'm kind of hyped for it, I guess. Well, we gonna get it anyway, so
It don't matter if you're hyped or not, you're gonna get it.
Yeah, we don't get it anyway, so it is what it is, I guess.
I mean, I really don't care. I don't see it being a squash match. This is going to be like Cody slaying the beast type of thing. Like they're just rebuilding Cody back to try and go after the titles again from Roman. And I'm pretty sure a lot of people are disappointed that Roman wasn't going to compete at Backlash. I thought he was, maybe not against Cody, but I thought Brock attacking Cody was an example. Like I said on Twitter, I said he probably did this because he's mad that Cody didn't win the titles and Brock still can't challenge for him because of him making that commitment, saying if I lose to you at SummerSlam, I can't challenge for it as long as you hold it, and he still holds it. So I thought it was kind of a frustration, like you were supposed to win, you didn't finish the story, so I'm gonna add a new chapter to your fucking story, and I'm gonna beat your ass. And plus, they also were mentioning that Brock was pissed of how they had him at WrestleMania, putting him against Omos in one of the shittiest matches of the entire weekend, and Brock was furious. And I thought it was like a big fuck you to Vince, and he was leaving when he did the 2 middle fingers, which that made me laugh hysterically.
Mm-hmm.
He's beating up him, but when I saw that, I'm like, yeah, we're getting Cody and Brock in the main event at Backlash. Roman's not competing, so this is going to be your main event. And we're going to see if the Puerto Ricans can give us the loudest whoa, because it gets louder every single week, and my volume button gets broken every week with that.
I know.
But, I mean, it is what it is, like I said. Just, I hope it's not like a 3-minute main event. I'm okay with it being around the 10-minute mark, but yeah, Cody's going to beat Brock Lesnar. Or will he?
He will.
I wasn't supposed to make a prediction there.
It's our unofficial pick for it. We're gonna get more in depth with it whenever we actually do our Backlash picks. But I don't see them going any other route than Cody having to get through all kind of obstacles to finally lead up to his final matchup with Roman to win both championships. So he's going to have to go through, like, you remember when Chris Jericho had to go through all these things to fight MJF? He had to fight people week after week. And this is going to be Cody every PLE to get his title shot versus Roman. That's what I feel like. It's just a gigantic obstacle course. That's all it really is.
They could do what they did with John Cena 10 years ago, except who's he going to face? What's next? After he beats Brock, he's going to face freaking Adam Pearce next, because remember, John Cena fought John Laurinaitis, and then what's next? He's going to fight the biggest man on the roster in a steel cage, which right now I think it's Omos. Going to fight him next, and he's going to win Money in the Bank, or this guy win Money in the Bank. So just announced earlier this week, Logan Paul re-signed with WWE. It's my next topic, and as much as we hate this guy, I will acknowledge the fact that he is fucking good in the ring. Maybe Brock can win with a possible Brock Gunther maybe. But as long as this guy don't have a championship, he wants to win a title. What title is he going to win? I don't see him winning the WWE Universal Championship. So you can take Roman off your list. I can maybe see him winning the U.S. title if he were to go a feud with Austin Theory, but I don't want to see two heels go at it. Austin Theory would have to have a big babyface turn, unless if he were to lose it to like maybe a particular babyface down the road, which I don't know anybody else that could win that back if they put it back on Seth Rollins or if they put it back on Bobby Lashley. I mean, if they want to put Seth and Logan in another feud, maybe Seth will win the title back. He'll be a champion again, and then they go in another feud and he wins the title. But I do not see him winning Money in the Bank. I rather Cody win Money in the Bank than Logan Paul. And speaking of Logan Paul, his brother Jake, his death is coming the night of SummerSlam, the day after my birthday. He's got a fight in Dallas, Texas. Cage My Q just popped in the comments. I want to hear his take on Jake Paul's upcoming fight, August 5th, the day after my birthday, the same night as SummerSlam. But while he pops that comment up, give me your take on Logan Paul re-signing with WWE. Are you growing into him? You think he's great in the ring, but you still hate the fucker?
So before I do that, I wanted to jump back to our last topic just for a brief second because I wanted to ask y'all both a question about it. If Cody isn't the one to dethrone Roman, who is it?
Seth Rollins.
I'll go Seth too.
Seth, or my backup would be Gunther.
I got a quite a crazy pick for that one. And crazy enough, it's someone in the bloodline right now who is my pick to dethrone him.
Jey Uso?
He's the one who's always been on the kind of like the outs with the bloodline. He's the one who always didn't want to do anything to Sammy, or he was like that one that can't be trusted almost. He gave us a really good feud with Roman in the Thunderdome era. If Cody isn't the one to do it, which he will be, I feel like Jay would be a cool story with the Roman, cousin versus cousin, and have Jay be the one to do it. So if Cody is not going to do it, why not main event Jay? I don't know. It's something I want to bring up.
Poor Jimmy Uso. Jimmy gonna get that Matt Hardy treatment, and Jay will be the Jeff Hardy of the bloodline.
Well, crazy enough, whenever the video game came out, I think Jay had a higher rating than Jimmy did. I think he was a 90 and Jimmy was an 89.
Really? I didn't even pay attention to that. Only thing I remember is Roman's like not even 99 or 100. I think he's like 98 or even 97.
I could have sworn he was at 99.
I'm a 100.
So am I. I put all my shit up.
Y'all missed my ass kicking I gave to dipshit Dominic Mysterio on Raw, which I downloaded a Judgment Day version of him. I don't play with that other bullshit version of him, and I'm going in a feud with Solo right now. So you want to see me versus Solo Sikoa? Maybe I need to start getting my Twitch show coming soon. Hey, let's play so y'all can see me kick his fucking ass on easy level.
Yeah, I was getting ready to say you need to start your gaming channel up so we can actually watch you do these matchups you're telling us about. That'd be pretty cool.
I gotta take a class. I gotta learn how to work this iOS bullshit.
No, you don't need a class to do it. It's so easy to do it, but some people it takes longer to figure this stuff out.
I don't even know if I have to buy another second monitor, because I know a lot of Twitchers have two monitors. One to stream on and talk on and have comments popping everywhere, and the other one is to do their watch-alongs or do their gaming.
I don't know, but getting back to our stuff about Logan Paul, I've grown into him since last year when he tagged with The Miz, and actually his first match is whenever I really got into Logan Paul. I can't stand him as a person. I think he's a piece of shit human being, but as a wrestler, this guy is fantastic. He has blown away any expectation I had for this guy. And I talked so good about Bad Bunny when I seen him compete when he tagged with Damian Priest versus Miz and Morrison. with that Canadian Destroyer, which looked fantastic. It's even in the video game, and that's my finishing move for my guy on there. So he looked good, but Logan Paul, he's just different. You know, he brought KSI with him in that gigantic prime bottle, which I thought was a funny spot. You know, bringing him onto the table and then jumping onto him. But you know, him re-signing with the company, I think, is the right move. You know, even though he brought out his Photoshop picture with Triple H, I thought it was cool. You know, I thought re-signing him was the right move. And if you're gonna bring a championship to him, which he says he wants, I think you look no further than the U.S. title. I feel like the U.S. title is the one they can afford to give him if they want to do it soon. You know, he's not going to pull it off of Gunther. He's not beating Roman for the titles. He's not. I mean, that's the only thing you can bring in is Austin Theory. You know, it's going to be a heel versus heel unless they turn Logan Paul face for this. I don't know. And the whole thing with Jake Paul, he's going to beat Nate Diaz. You know, he realized he can't beat an actual boxer with Tommy Fury. So he's gonna go digging up for those washed up, retired UFC fighters in order to get a good payday. So.
Yeah. But
Yeah.
go ahead, Jordan. I'm sorry.
Yeah, Logan Paul. Yeah, I like him. Like he like jumping off the thing onto the announce table, like high flying. Like he kind of like that, and yeah. I'm like grown into him too, and like Dylan said, for that boxing fight, he's probably gonna win.
Who y'all got winning, Jake Paul or Nate Diaz?
Jake Paul.
Jake Paul.
By a unanimous decision or by judge's call or.
I can see this one going to a decision, and then they pick Jake Paul to win.
Yeah, I can see a decision.
Man, if it wasn't the same night as SummerSlam, I would have loved to go back to Dallas and see that fight. But I guarantee you, them tickets are going to be skyrocket because it's box. I never been to a boxing match ever in my life. I've never been. I know they're way overpriced. I'm pretty sure the pay-per-view alone is going to be like $89.99 on DirecTV or damn near $100 for high definition. I remember we paid fucking almost $100 when Floyd Mayweather fought Conor McGregor or when he fought Pacquiao. We paid almost $100 for that shit. But no, it's the same night as SummerSlam. SummerSlam is my pay-per-view. I'm going to be at home watching SummerSlam and eventually do a Fallout immediately following the show on our YouTube channel. So this is my last wrestling topic before I close out with a sporting topic, but everyone knew this was coming, but everyone thought it was going to happen at WrestleMania. But Trish Stratus is now a heel again, and it's been, God, so long since she was a heel. I think 2004 or 2005 was the last time she was a heel in her legendary Hall of Fame career, which begs my question. Do you think she was the one that attacked Lita, or was it Damage Control, you think?
No, I think it was 100% Trish. I think they made it way too obvious that it was her.
Yeah, I think it was her.
I didn't see the turn. I saw the turn coming more than them losing the tag titles to Raquel and Liv. That was a huge shockwave right there. I'm like, oh, Raquel's a tag champ again, and Liv Morgan finally got some gold again. It's been a while, but I didn't think it was going to happen so soon. And everyone thinks we're going to get a Becky Trish match either at SummerSlam, between SummerSlam to Backlash. So people are already calling it now, saying it's going to happen at Backlash. Some people think they're going to drag it all the way to SummerSlam, which they're going to eventually fight soon. I don't know when. When do you think? It's going to be a Backlash, or are they going to drag this all the way to SummerSlam?
I see Backlash. I don't know if you drag this all the way to SummerSlam. You know, if we have to think about it, SummerSlam's quite a while away. I don't see how you hold this off for this long. But,
I'll say Backlash.
Months. It makes sense to do it, but they'd have to rush it because we're about 3 weeks, 2.5 weeks until Backlash. It's May 6th. So yeah, it's about 3.5, 4 weeks away. And they already just made one match, Cody and Brock.
Yeah.
We're still waiting to find out. Faction Cast Podcast. Yo, we got some new faces popping up here I've never seen before. Welcome to the live stream. And then they were talking about maybe Bailey versus Trish down the road. I mean, they're all doing these fantasy bookings, but I don't know where it's gonna go from here with this whole Damage Control, Lita, Becky, now Becky Trish feud coming soon. I mean, I like Trish either way. If she was a babyface or a heel, but if she's gonna go on this heel turn, I want her to be hardcore heel like she was in 2004 and 2005. Like when she told Lita, "You're gonna lose this match just like you lost your baby," like that Trish.
Yeah.
Just don't break her nose again.
So for one, I didn't like the turn. For one, it was too obvious. It was way too obvious that Trish was turning. The moment Lita was found, she was attacked and whatnot. For one, I said, okay, it was Trish who did it. And then when Trish said she was going to step in and defend the titles with Becky, I said, okay, they're losing. I said, they're losing the titles. Trish is going to be the one to cost it. If she turns on Becky during the match, she's the one who eats the pin and loses the titles for both of them. And then she hits Becky after the match, which, I mean, that's what happened. But for one, let's be honest, the turn was horrible. She turned her back on Trish, and then Trish gave her the smallest little bump, and then Becky goes flying like she just got hit by a truck. And then Trish beats her ass, and then that's it. I think the turn could have been a little bit better. It's always someone has their back turned and the person hits the other person. So I wasn't sure who was in the wrong when it came to this. Was it Trish who waited too long to hit her and she barely got a hit on her at all? Or, was it Becky who didn't sell it right? I don't know who was in the wrong with this one. The turn was bad. It was too obvious, and anyone could have seen it coming. Hell, friggin' Stevie Wonder could have seen this shit coming. That's how obvious it was.
I was gonna say Ronnie Millsap, even better, but yeah, they're both
Anyone
blind.
who's blind, yeah.
They're both blind. I mean, fuck it. I mean, it's just bringing in Hall of Famers to try and this ain't gonna. I mean, Becky's already a star. You don't need to bring this in to build her up. She's already a mega star. She won 2 women's titles in the main event of WrestleMania, for crying out loud. But I mean, I don't know. I mean, I guess just I don't know. But I mean, I'm just ready to see what happens. Will Becky beat Trish, or will Trish beat Becky? Lord knows whatever night it's going to be. Backlash, SummerSlam. I don't know. But do you have anything else you want to throw in?
Yeah, I got one last topic before we move on to your final sports topic, and we're going to go back to AEW, and we're going to go FTR. First, they win the tag titles, and then Dax Harwood announces on his podcast that they have, in fact, re-signed with AEW, and he already said that this decision to sign back with AEW was already in the works before they seen the Raw after Mania and seeing Vince kind of back in charge of creative. Yes, we all know Triple H is the head of creative, but I'm hearing that unless it goes by Vince, it's not going to happen. So Triple H has that role, but every final word has to go by Vince. So really and truly, who's in charge when it comes to that? So Dax Harwood already said that damn signing back was already a for sure thing even before they saw Vince was back. So two-part question. So what was your reaction when FTR was the one to defeat the Guns? And are you happy that they're staying in AEW rather than doing another stint in WWE or even going somewhere like an Impact or a Ring of Honor? Because they did say AEW they would leave if they lost. They never said that they wouldn't go to Ring of Honor.
I was more shocked when I realized Dax has a podcast. I didn't Did he just come out with this? But I popped it up. He had been doing it for like 3 months now, maybe longer. Yeah, he also said they plan on retiring in 4 years in 2027. So they're gonna be in AEW for a while. So I'm happy. That means I get to hear that theme song more. The Midnight Express remix right there. I knew they were gonna win the titles. Come on, like it's fucking FTR. They're not gonna lose to the Ass Boys again. No, I mean, it. Going off the subject, did you believe that the Guns entrance on Dynamite was the greatest entrance of all time? I don't think so.
I mean, it was cool. I'm not gonna lie. The Guns had a pretty cool entrance for that one, but of all time, not even close. Not even top 10, top 20. It wasn't close to being the greatest of all time.
Dude, I'll take Lil Uzi Vert playing the Usos at WrestleMania, then the Guns coming out to whatever they came out to.
Yeah.
But, no, I knew they were going to win. I mean, I was holding my breath. I was worried, like, what if they do pull it off? But I said, no, if they would have lost, I would have seen them go to, like, Ring of Honor or something. I knew they weren't going to go to WWE because WrestleMania is already out the window. If this would have happened before Mania and they'd have lost, I'd have believed they'd have went to WWE. But no, they did this match after Mania. So I was like, no, they're staying. Tony Khan's paying them a shitload of money, and they're going to stay. And now they're staying for 4 more years, and they're going to retire in 2027. They're now 2-time AEW tag champs, so they're now a combined 8-time champs if you include their 2 NXT reigns, their 2 WWE tag team title reigns, their 1 IWGP reign, their 1 AAA reign, and their 1 Ring of Honor reign.
Yeah.
Now, while they're in AEW, I think they will play hot potato. They'll go to Ring of Honor, win those tag titles again down the road, another 1 or 2 more times. I think they'll capture the AEW tag titles a couple of more times. I see them at least being 10-time or 11-time champs combined before they retire in 4 years. Like, they'll probably win the AEW tag titles again in a couple of years, or in the Ring of Honor titles. They'll probably go to win the IWGP ones again. Like, they're trying to get on that road, and I love this. Like, I love FTR, especially Dax. I mean, no one talks about Cash. I love Cash. Cash just like, he kind of gives me the Kyle O'Reilly vibe a little bit, but Dax is more of the impact star. Like, Cash is just the cool, the laid back, want to kick some ass guy. Dax does all the talking and everything.
Yeah. I knew they was gonna win. I knew they wasn't gonna lose, and I'm happy they signed the
They
re-signed.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yep. So, one last little thing before we close out. So, things didn't go. I mean, I knew they weren't going to get far, but I mean, we're going to talk about. We're just going to kind of give a quick prediction on the NBA Finals. But first, I'm going to let you all lay it out on this on the table right now. Give me your thoughts on the New Orleans Pelicans right now.
Honestly, where do I start? You know, this season was so promising. And at one point, they were the first team in the West. I mean, they were doing so well. And then, of course, you have injury-prone Zion Williamson, who can't step onto the court to play. We get an update every single week on him. And he said, well, he's progressing, but he ain't ready yet. And it never, ever happened. So a part of me feels like the Pelicans have a bright star in Zion, but another part of me feels like they wasted a draft pick because this guy never ever plays. He's like the Michael Thomas of the NBA. You know, he has all the hype behind him. He has all the hype behind him, but he doesn't fucking play. And it's the most annoying thing ever. So I want to believe in Zion. I do. I want to believe in this Pelicans team because they're so talented. You have so many great faces on this team that can make them a contender one day. But after a while, you know, all this believing is going absolutely nowhere because they barely made the play-in, and they were in a position where they had to win twice to even be inserted into the NBA playoffs, and then you lose the first game of the play-in, and then you're out. Come on, man. This season was the season of the potential for the Pelicans, and went absolutely nowhere. And it's more disappointing than heartbreaking when it comes to being a fan of this team. It's so
Jordan.
disappointing.
Yeah, they really did good this year. And then watching that game last night, I'm like,
They
first I thought, yeah,
they had the potential until fucking Zion got hurt after playing only 29 games last season. I'm saying last season now because I'm heading towards the new one. And then, they were number one in the West. And then when the new year rang, they lost 10 consecutive games. And then we ended up dropping to freaking ninth at one point. And you go from number 1 to number 9 like that. But here's a question. If you had to get rid of one or even get rid of all, who would you rather cut? Zion, CJ McCollum, or Willie Green?
Well, I mean, I wouldn't do Willie Green because he's someone that came in there and actually gave hope to this franchise. So I wouldn't let him go. He's one of the better ones that they've had over the years. I mean, if you're going to realistically ask this, I wouldn't do CJ because CJ actually plays. So if you're gun to my head, I would do that. If you're asking
shit last night, though. Oh my god!
But he played. That's the thing. Yeah. He played. So Zion's my answer. If I'm gonna have to answer this, it's gonna be Zion. He has such potential. It's just the guy can't stay healthy to save his life. He always starts the year, but then something fucks up and he's out the entire season. It's frustrating.
Yeah, I'll say Zion.
I'll give him one more chance. If he gets hurt before the All-Star again, like every year he gets nominated for All-Stars, he never played on the All-Star game because he was fucking hurt. What was this, 2 or 3 times he made the All-Star team but never played because he was hurt? Whether it was his foot or his thumb or his back. One year it was his foot, another year it was his back. This year it's his fucking thumb. Then he's got to have surgery on. So if you listen to Locked On Pelicans, they say they are going to update every single thing on Zion. See if he's even worthy enough to come back. I mean, he's no longer under rookie contract. Brandon Ingram is basically the heart and soul of the team right now. He actually wants to be there and play. The second, or should I say, the heart and soul of the team is Jose Alvarado. That boy cheers his teammates on.
Yeah, it's just all around frustrating for this entire team. The team had so much potential this year. I feel like this was the year to really make a run in the playoffs, and somehow they just fall apart and they can't all stay healthy at the same time to actually make a run. So if it's going to be like that, this Pelicans team is never going to reach that potential of like one day, hopefully, like a Golden State Warriors team that is just absolutely a damn dynasty. Or anyone else that you can, think of. Even the Suns, adding Kevin Durant. They're going to be a very good team going forward if Durant stays healthy and if this entire team stays healthy. The Suns are going to be a great team. It's just the Pelicans never stay healthy at the same time. So they won't be that dynasty that everyone can make them out to be one day.
I don't know. If he gets hurt again and misses the rest of the upcoming season, then I'm done with them. I'm gonna get rid of them jerseys I paid fucking shitload of money for. The red one and the Mardi Gras jersey from 2019. I will get rid of that shit in a heartbeat. I'll switch to Alvarado and Brandon Ingram jerseys if I got to. But they're real quick. We'll start like this. What's one team you have winning it all this year? Who do you think's going to win the NBA Finals? One team. If you can pick one team.
Well, I'm looking at the bracket right now. So I forgot who was in the damn playoffs to begin with. The Pelicans are out. I don't care about fucking basketball this year. So I'm looking at it. If I'm gonna pick a team who I feel like is complete and who can make a lengthy run and even win it, I think they're overdue for a finals. So I'm gonna go with the Celtics. I think the Celtics have what it takes to go all the way.
Okay, Jordan.
I guess I'll go to the Timberwolves.
Oh, you're going with an underdog. Well,
Wow.
see, there's always been all throughout the freaking season, Shaq and the boys, in the booth, in the studio, always talk about the same two teams. Do you go? They're talking about the greatest player in the league right now, which is Giannis, or they're going to talk about the greatest team in the league right now, which is the Boston Celtics. You think the great? So that's either going to be the Bucks or the Celtics. That's probably going to be your Eastern Conference final right there. Whoever, I think it's going to be out of them two. Whoever wins that final is winning it all. Which do you go with the greatest player or do you go with the greatest team? Because I would love to see Giannis get a second ring, but Boston's been long overdue for a championship. Also, they haven't won a championship in 15 years.
So Jordan's picking the Timberwolves. They're still in the play-in. They're not even in the actual playoffs yet. So he's picking a play-in team to go all the way, which is wild.
Well, that's my next question. So there's two play-in games left for the one for the East, one for the West. Whoever gets the 8th seed got to play the number 1 seed. So we already know Jordan's picking the Timberwolves. Who you got to play the Denver Nuggets in the playoffs? You got the Minnesota Timberwolves or you got Oklahoma City Thunder? You got Shai Gilgeous-Alexander versus Anthony Edwards. Who you got?
I'm going with the Lakers. I think the Timberwolves are too much of a drama team right now. They're falling apart. Rudy Gobert may not even play because he threw a punch at his own teammate, and then another player went in the tunnel and fractured his hand by punching a wall. They're falling apart. The Lakers are getting good at their time.
Wait, why are we talking about the Lakers? You said Timberwolves, and then you said Lakers. I said, who wins out of the Thunder and the Timberwolves?
Oh, I'm sorry. Okay, no, okay, I'm looking at the wrong thing right now.
The Lakers are playing the Grizzlies. Yeah, the Lakers are playing the Grizzlies.
That's on me. I looked at the wrong thing. I got the Thunder. Okay. I think like I said, Timberwolves are falling apart, so I don't think that they're gonna make it. But I was looking at the wrong bracket. The friggin' app is telling me the wrong thing. But okay, now I'm looking at the right thing. Okay, never mind. That's my fault.
All right. Now the other 8 seed game, the winner of this will have to play the Bucks in the playoffs. You got Zach LaVine and the Chicago Bulls taking on Jimmy Butler and the Miami Heat. Who gets that 8 seed? The Bulls or the Heat?
I got the Bulls simply because I think it was, correct me if I'm wrong, I think it was DeMar DeRozan. His daughter was the reason why I think they missed so many free throws. She was the MVP of that game.
Oh, if she does this again, kicked out. I'd have fucking been mad if I sat next to her and like a damn kid screaming for fucking ice cream.
Hey, she's the MVP of that game. She's the reason why they missed so many free throws. So I'm going with the Bulls. I think the Bulls are going to win and move on.
I heard that shit from Chicago all the way to freaking Louisiana. That was so loud. Damn near woke my dogs up. Yeah, I'm going with the Bulls. So we all got the Bulls playing the Bucks in that round. So that's all I'm asking. I'm gonna name each matchup. You just tell me who wins and how. Remember, every game's the best of 7, no matter what, from first round all the way to the finals. So I'm gonna say a game. You tell me who wins and in how many games. So we got the Brooklyn Nets versus the Philadelphia 76ers. Which will be interesting because Ben Simmons is playing his former team.
Yeah. I'm going to go Sixers in 6.
I'll go with the Nets in 5.
I got the Sixers in 4. I got them sweeping Brooklyn.
Damn.
All right. Then we got Trae Young and the Atlanta Hawks taking on Jason Tatum and the Boston Celtics.
Yeah, I got the Celtics in 5.
I'm gonna go with the Celtics in 6.
Celtics in 4.
Geez, another sweep.
This one, oh my God. If I can name the two key players in this game, you got Julius Randle versus Donovan Mitchell, the New York Knicks versus the Cleveland Cavaliers. That's going to be a fun one to watch right there.
I'm going to go with the Knicks in 6.
I'll go Knicks in 5.
I'm going to go with the Knicks in 7. I want to see it go to 7. Just like this one. I want this one to go to 7 games. This will be a big test. We're going to see if this team is really a joke or not. Will this be the Phoenix Suns 2.0? But we got the defending champs, Steph Curry and the Golden State Warriors against De'Aaron Fox and the Sacramento Kings. Is the Kings really what they say they are, or are they just a bigger joke than the Los Angeles Clippers?
I got the Warriors in 6.
I'll go Warriors and 7.
Talk about it would be a big shock if they would upset the defending champs in the first round. I want to see it happen. I'm picking the Kings in 7. I want to see if they can do it. If they don't do it, then I can see the Warriors at least sneaking into the Western Conference Finals against the Denver Nuggets. But I think their season's going to get done. I think the Kings are as good as they say they are to make a decent run into the playoffs, a deep run, I should say. So y'all all picked the Chicago Bulls. So y'all have the Chicago Bulls playing the Milwaukee Bucks. So how many games? Who wins and how many games?
I got the Bucks in 5.
I'll say Bucks in 6.
I got Bucks in 4. That's a sweep. Well, good morning, Fam. How's that beautiful hair of yours doing? All right. Lakers, Grizzlies. That's all I'm going to say.
Lakers in 7.
I'll go Lakers in 6.
As much as I would love for them to get sweep, it won't happen. I'll say Grizzlies at least in 5 or 6. I just want LeBron out in the fucking playoffs.
Oh, I know you did.
All right. Probably the biggest joke. Like if we can go back to our days of talking football, I can't wait to talk football again. This would be our toilet bowl game of the first round. We got the Los Angeles Clippers against the Phoenix Suns. Clippers are a fucking joke. We know that. And then my hatred for the Phoenix Suns, especially with the playoffs last year with the Pelicans.
I'm going to go Suns in 5.
I'll do the Suns in 6.
I'll give the Clippers 1 win. I'll say the Suns in 5. I'll have the Suns winning this round, but I don't see them getting too far. I don't think they'll get past the second round. And then finally, the Nuggets, who are going to play the winner out of the Thunder and the Timberwolves. And we all said the Thunder, but Nuggets move on, or we have this upset. Well, no, he picked the Timberwolves. So it's going to be Timberwolves and the Nuggets, according to Jordan, or it'll be Thunder Nuggets. That sounds delicious. Thunder Nuggets. That sounds like something I'd eat. Thunder Nuggets. But who wins this one?
I'm going to go Denver in 4.
No, you got your first
Denver.
sweep.
I'll say Denver in 5.
If it's
the Timberwolves going to win it all.
Yeah, you said the Timberwolves are going to beat the
Oh.
Thunder.
Oh, I really.
You're picking
Wait a
Denver to win.
I'll tell you what.
Timberwolves
Give me
gonna
2
win.
picks. Give me a pick for both. If the Nuggets play the Thunder, what's it going to be? Or if they play the Timberwolves, give me both.
I'll say Timberwolves in 5.
Oh my God, they'll upset the number 1 seed in 5 games. Okay. All right. You want to add the other one too, Dylan, before I say my last 2?
For what?
Well, you said they would sweep the Thunder, but if they would play the Timberwolves, would they sweep them, or it would go more than 4 games?
If it's the Timberwolves, I see Nuggets in 5. I don't see them losing to the Timberwolves. I don't know what the fuck Jordan's talking about, but
if the Timberwolves, if it's Timberwolves Nuggets will win in 4. If it's the Thunder and the Nuggets will win in 5 or 6.
yeah.
That will do it for today. I mean, maybe somewhere down the road during our live streams, maybe we can talk a little MLS. I know we're all 3 shockingly going to our first MLS game. We're going to the Dynamo Sounders game, which I don't even know who Jordan's repping. Is he repping your club or he's repping my club?
He went with the Sounders. I ordered him a T-shirt for the game. Mine came in today.
I'll be in Houston this weekend. We're going to the Astros Rangers game on Saturday, and after I get done with the 5K and we go drink margaritas, I'm going to probably an academy. If their team store is not open on the weekends, I'm gonna go to an academy because I remember seeing some Houston Dynamo shit at academy a couple of years ago. So, and there's probably like 12 academies in Houston, so I'm sure there's one somewhere that has Dynamo gear. Give me a shirt at least, and then whatever else I want, we'll buy at the game. But I'm looking forward to it. It's gonna be fun. Where do you watch? Do you watch all your games? Because I thought freaking AT&T Southwest was gonna play their shit. No, all they've been playing was Astro games. Like I might have to get on ESPN Plus to watch the Dynamo if I'm lucky.
You have to sub to MLS Season Pass if you want to watch anything, unless they show it free on Apple TV, which is very rare, or if they play them on Fox, which is once again very rare. So I'm subbed to MLS Season Pass, which is like $15 a month, so I'm able to watch the Sounders every single Saturday.
I already want to subscribe to. I already want to unsubscribe to Honor Club. I don't even know if I want to subscribe to this shit. I remember I used to catch every Dynamo game. I don't need MLS. I have the MLS Season Pass. I mean, if it's really worth it, I'll give it a shot. Isn't it?
Heck, you can watch every single. It's on Apple TV. You got to sub through there.
I don't have
because you don't have to have. You don't have to have Apple TV. It's a separate subscription, but they do it through Apple TV. You click on the Apple TV app on your phone, whatever, and you click on MLS Season Pass, and you just hit subscribe to that, and you pay through that.
I wish I could watch.
If you have T-Mobile, you get it for free because Bakley just commented that he has T-Mobile, so they give it for free. But I don't have T-Mobile, so.
I wish I could watch it on my PC though. I don't want to watch it on my phone.
Oh, well, I got the Apple app on my Xbox, so I was watching on that.
Oh, yeah, I could do that. I can download Apple on my new Xbox Series S and download it there.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, that'll do it for tonight. We went over the hour mark, and I know you got shit to do, but this was fun. Do you guys have any last call? Anything else you want to add before we close out?
Nope, I got nothing. I know we have a new audio episode dropping next week. It was supposed to be this Jordan started feeling sick, so had to cancel that one, but we're doing Backlash 04 coming out sometime next week. Looking forward to that one, and of course to the new live stream once again next Thursday.
Yeah, we got 2 audio episodes coming soon. We're doing Backlash 04. You and I. Jordan's coming on too.
I have no idea.
And we got another topic episode coming soon that'll feature all 3 of us. I'm very excited about. It was one I wanted to do a while back. We never thought of doing anytime soon. I'm gonna wait till we record it to announce it. It's so. I wouldn't say it's so big, but it's a very interesting one. I can't wait to talk about. So you'll have to wait till that episode drops to even know what the topic is. But you can find the podcast on Twitter at World Elite Pod. We're also on YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, and on Twitch. Remember, subscribe to our YouTube channel to watch all our episodes and live streams. Follow us on Facebook or follow us on Twitter. You know the drill. Big thank you to our actual proud sponsors, not the nacho fries from Taco Bell that I devoured in the first 20 minutes. No, W Energy. Go to W.GG. Use the promo code WorldElitePod to get 10% off. And 80s Tees, you go to 80stees.com, use right there on the bottom of your screen, World Elite, to get 30% off of your order. And we're free and available wherever you get your podcasts. We're everywhere. Spotify, Google Pod, Spreaker, iHeartRadio, Apple Pod that needs to update our motherfucking artwork. We are now an 80s video game retro style vibe. We kind of sort of retired the LSU color thing, even though our font is still LSU colors. But until then, thank you guys for tuning in. You know where to find us next Thursday. Can't wait to do another live stream when we find topics throughout the week from WWE to AEW, Ring of Honor, New Japan. This was fun. Thank you guys. I'm gonna have a fun weekend. I hope you all had a wonderful weekend. I hope you all had a wonderful Easter holiday. I know Dylan and I had a virtual barbecue cook-off. That was fun. We'll talk more about that on the audio episode coming up. But till then, thank you guys. We'll see you next week. Good night.